What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Thursday, June 20th, 2024, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now, it is just past midnight Eastern Time here in the United States, and we currently have U.S. nuclear forces on very high alert. We currently have 3 Boeing E-6 Mercuries in the air over the continental United States. And we also have a presidential doomsday plane about to take off from the DC area, which is very unusual for this late at night. So we have one E-6 Mercury nuclear war command and control plane up in the air over Southern California. These planes are responsible for remotely launching all of our Minuteman III ICBMs, and they're also responsible for communicating with our submerged nuclear-armed submarines and giving them the orders to actually launch. Here we have another nuclear war command and control plane over upstate New York right now. And then here we have the presidential doomsday plane about to take off from DC. So this is very, very unusual. We also have some breaking news that apparently a Russian naval group is currently within observable distance of Miami, Florida tonight. And we actually have a P-8 Poseidon sub-hunter plane that just took off from Jacksonville about 2 hours ago, and it went east towards the Atlantic. So we have Russian warships here off the coast of Florida the last 2 days, and we've been seeing U.S. sub-hunting assets patrolling this area like clockwork. Okay, so this is very concerning, guys. I am very concerned about this. And here we have the possible location of one of these Russian warships. You can see several American warships trailing what appears to be a Russian warship. We have U.S. government vessel. We have the Coast Guard Stone. We have CDN warship 332, CDN warship 431. So basically, 5 American warships trailing the Russian warships and or subs off the coast of Miami. This is very, very concerning. They're still in this area. Last night they were in this area as well, and they're still there, it looks like. And there were some air raid alerts in Ukraine tonight. What you're looking at here is a U.S. aerial refueler that was active over eastern Poland. During these air raid alerts, they always send one up in this area to refuel Polish F-16s and various reconnaissance assets that are responsible for tracking the trajectory of the missiles and feeding that information to the Ukrainians. And here we have some video footage of a nuclear war command and control plane that was up in the air over eastern Nebraska earlier today. This video is courtesy of my buddy Jason. So let's just watch this video. It's really cool to see these planes. You'll notice that they're totally white. As you can see, they're just completely white. And while Putin was in North Korea, he hinted at potentially arming North Korea with long-range missiles and advanced technology in retaliation for the U.S. and NATO arming Ukraine to be able to strike Russia. Here he talks about this. He says, in this regard, the Russian Federation does not exclude the development of military technical cooperation with North Korea. Okay, and he was talking about how this compares to what the U.S. and NATO have been doing with Ukraine and arming Ukraine. Here we have some more video footage from Putin's historic meeting with Kim Jong-un. This is Putin's first meeting with Kim Jong-un in 24 years. Okay, so this is pretty interesting. Putin actually drove this vehicle. I'm not sure exactly what kind of vehicle that is. It looks like a Bentley maybe. And he actually wanted to drive, and then they walked in this park together. Very interesting. And the new strategic partnership agreement between Russia and North Korea So Article 4 of this defense pact that Putin signed with Kim Jong-un states verbatim that in the event that either party is in a state of war as a result of aggression by individual or multiple states, the other side shall provide military and other assistance without delay. Wow, okay? So this is like an Article 5 of NATO that was set up between Putin and Kim Jong-un. Okay, so this is a huge move by Putin. You can see Putin is trying to rekindle the old Soviet alliances. This is very, very concerning. And leaflets warning against cooperation with Hezbollah were dropped by the Israeli Air Force in southern Syria today, according to local sources. This is another sign that war is about to break out in Lebanon. And CNN is reporting that the aircraft carrier Gerald Ford and the accompanying strike group are currently urgently on their way to the coast of northern Israel in anticipation of an Israeli invasion of Lebanon. And this comes just a day after Israel gave Hezbollah an ultimatum to move north of the Litani River, and Israel approved operational plans for an invasion already. And the U.S. Special Envoy Amos Hochstein announced today that diplomatic efforts to calm tensions between Israel and Hezbollah have officially failed because Hezbollah refuses any negotiations. And Israeli media has also announced that over the past days, Israel has tried frantically to stop escalation with Hezbollah and to prevent war, but Hezbollah is not interested in de-escalation. And this is coming after Amos Hochstein apparently warned Hezbollah that they have until the 24th of this month, that's just 4 days from now, to move their forces north of the Litani River. And also after the Israeli military approved the operational war plans. And this video was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply is running a special discount for viewers of the NYPrepper channel. They're offering 25% off of their 4-week emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you have to use the link in the description below this video, which is preparewithnyprepper.com. This is a 4-week emergency food supply, which has a 25-year shelf life, and it includes breakfasts, lunches, dinners, snacks, and drinks. All of this food is packed into 2 rugged, watertight buckets, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. And if you have to bug out, you can easily take your food with you. Free shipping is included. The normal price, $240, and they're knocking it down to $180, and that's with shipping included. So to get the deal, use the link preparewithnyprepper.com. It's in the description below this video. And Amos Hochstein reportedly told senior Lebanese officials, including Prime Minister of Lebanon Najib Mikati and Speaker of the Parliament Nabi Berri, yesterday during a high-level meeting in the capital of Beirut, that Israel is preparing to launch an invasion of southern Lebanon with the goal of pushing any Hezbollah forces back across the Litani River. Hochstein further stated that they expect the invasion to begin within the next 5 weeks, and if Hezbollah does not halt attacks on northern Israel and agree to a diplomatic option, then the Israeli operation will be supported by the U.S. and allies. Wow. Okay, so this is going to be not just Israel going alone like they did in Gaza. We're going to have U.S. fighter jets, British fighter jets, French fighter jets participating in this massive attack on southern Lebanon, because it's going to be a massive attack. They're going to have to neutralize all of the Hezbollah artillery pieces that they use to launch rockets, because Hezbollah has enough rockets to launch 1,000 per day for an entire period of 6 months every single day. So they have to neutralize all those sites, or as many as they can, to minimize the number of rockets that are going to be saturating the Israeli Iron Dome system. And a senior Israeli official said if Hezbollah keeps attacking northern Israel, the whole of South Lebanon will look like Gaza. Beirut will not be immune. Countdown to a powerful Israeli response has started. And Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, gave a rebuttal speech earlier today. Here's a summary of what he said. He said, the party that should be in fear now is the enemy, not us. Hezbollah will continue its operations in support of Gaza and is prepared for all scenarios. We possess a significant amount of information. The drone footage published yesterday is just a small part of many hours filmed in Haifa. So if you guys are not aware, Hezbollah sent some drones over Israel's main port, Haifa, in northern Israel. And a lot of people were saying that Israel has weak security because they allowed basically this Hezbollah drone to infiltrate and capture sensitive footage of one of their main ports. And Nasrallah said, we know that the Israelis are conducting drills in Cyprus and its airports, which they plan to use if their own airports or facilities are struck. We warn Cyprus against opening its facilities to Israel. If it does, we will consider it part of the war. Wow. Okay, so Nasrallah officially threatening to attack Cyprus if they allow Israel to use their bases. All the weapons meant for Lebanon have already arrived. These weapons will be revealed when necessary, and we have new weapons to introduce. We produce some of the rockets we need. We have a large amount of drones because we manufacture them. Hezbollah has a comprehensive and accurate target bank inside Israel and the capability to reach these targets. The enemy must be prepared for us on land, air, and sea, and we will fight without constraints or limitations, basically saying that this is going to be no holds barred, and they have a comprehensive target list inside of Israel that they're going to launch rockets at, okay? And he also said that the Israeli enemy knows that what awaits them in the Mediterranean Sea is substantial. And he also named the United States as being an enemy combatant as well. And we're now hearing of a massive increase in canceled hotel reservations in Cyprus following the threat from Nasrallah. And according to a U.S. defense official, the U.S. Department of Defense is currently in consultations with Raytheon on a possible emergency transfer of several Coyote counter-drone systems as well as other short-range air defense radars and systems to Israel in order to plug a hole which had recently been seen in the Israeli air defense array in the north when attempting to counter the threat of suicide drones, which have begun to be significantly utilized by Hezbollah. And ABC News is reporting that American officials in the Biden administration said what Netanyahu said about the U.S. withholding arms from Israel exceeds all acceptable limits. So the Biden administration is not happy that Netanyahu publicly criticized the Biden administration and blamed them for withholding arms shipments. And what you're looking at here is some video footage coming from the Houthis. The Houthis shared this video of one of their drone attacks on one of these tanker ships, and you can see this massive kaboom there. Look at that, guys. These Houthis are doing a lot of damage, and the Western countries are not doing enough to eliminate them. This can't continue to go on, guys, okay? I believe on this ship there was actually a fatality from this attack. Look at this, guys. This is insane. Okay, and the mainstream media downplays it and makes it seem like these Houthis are just, a bunch of ragtag, like Taliban guys with, RPGs and AK-47s. No, they have advanced anti-ship missiles that were given to them by Iran, and they're utilizing them very effectively to choke off the world shipping lane in the Red Sea, which is critical to shipping around the world. Here we have Nasrallah threatening to target Cyprus if Cyprus opens its airports and bases to the Israeli forces. And Canada today has officially designated the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps of Iran, the IRGC, as an international terrorist group. And there were some strong kabooms reported in Ukraine in the occupied sections in Melitopol and Luhansk. And this was right around the same time as the flurry of air raid alerts earlier this evening. And Ecuador faced a nationwide blackout earlier as government officials say the country is working to resolve a cascade disconnection. Very interesting. And here we have some video footage coming out of the South China Sea showing Chinese Coast Guards getting into an altercation with the Philippine Coast Guards. And what's interesting is the Chinese Coast Guards here actually have knives in their hands, and there was also some footage showing them with actual hatchets, okay? And apparently 8 Philippine Coast Guardsmen were injured in this altercation, so the situation is getting really, really tense. Look, this one Chinese Coast Guard tried to stab the Zodiac here, and I guess his Chinese-made knife was not sharp enough to puncture it. That's pretty hilarious. Epic fail. Check it out. Boom. There you go. Just bounced right off. That is just the funniest thing. And we currently have Tropical Storm Alberto making impacts in southern Texas. We have a tropical storm warning in effect through the rest of Thursday. Winds up to 50 miles an hour are expected. Power outages are expected across southern Texas. Several inches of rain are expected as well. Here's the latest situation here. You can see southern Texas getting pelted with these heavy rain bands. So lots of rain there. Probably much needed rain because Texas has been dry lately. And finally, I just want to share some video footage of this kitty that was hanging out outside of my house last night while we were live streaming. So it must have been abandoned by somebody, and it came running to my house, and it was outside of my door, and it was crying while I was live streaming. So I want to let you guys know that I did bring her into my house, and she's doing well. So I will continue to update you on her status, but she is inside. She's doing well. She's been fed. She's had water. And let me just play this footage. This is from when I first walked outside and met her, I guess you could say. So check this out. Hey, kitty. So she was a little bit shy at first, but then she wouldn't leave me, and she's just absolutely obsessed with me. So pretty funny how that works out. Hey. And then here's another video of her trying to climb my screen to my window here right next to my computer as I was live streaming. She jumped up on the screen and was trying to find a way in because she heard me talking outside. Okay, kitty. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'll be back later on tomorrow with more breaking news, so make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell icon down below so you get notified when I post these updates. But it does look like things are about to pop off in Lebanon. It looks like Israel's getting ready to go into Lebanon and deal with Hezbollah, which I told you guys would eventually happen, and now that time is finally coming. We also have to be on high alert for North Korea doing something to South Korea now that they have this defense pact with Putin. So North Korea is going to feel a little bit more like, invincible because they know Russia's going to back them up if they go to war with South Korea and the U.S. We also have to keep our eyes on Belarus potentially attacking Lithuania. So I'm going to be monitoring all these events, but This could all pop off as soon as next Monday, okay? That was the deadline that Amos Hochstein gave to Hezbollah to move their forces north of the Litani River. So until later on, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.